Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, all those goody good places that this clip or live spot will be going to. Just making sure my sound is actually working like it's supposed to on my other platform, and it is. There we go. All right. So, welcome to the show, everybody. Hopefully, you all are doing good. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions. Welcome to the broadcast, and I'm going to do a little something over here on this other side. That's the wrong spot there, people. This is the side we're at right here. I got to put my title in over here on Facebook so I can pop it up live, and it is trying to do the right thing. It's being slow. Everything's being slow right now. I don't understand why. Sorry, folks. All right, so welcome to the show, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, and I got to figure out why it doesn't want to keep up with me. All right, there we go. Okay, let's see. There we go with that. I'm going to tag a couple people in this. So, my next show, since we are on the odd days, will be Friday the 13th. Bum, 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 Mr. Jason Voorhees right here. That's pretty exciting, in my opinion. That we will be doing that show on Friday the 13th. I will have my Friday the 13th gear on. I do have a Mr. Kane, not Kane Hodder. I wish I had Mr. Kane Hodder. I have Mr. James Stokes autograph back on the back wall. He is an actor who has portrayed the likes of Michael Myers and others, and Jason Voorhees, the big time Jason Voorhees, in some fan films, in some regular films, and stuff of that nature. I also have Mr. C.J. Graham's autograph sitting over here on a puzzle that I did, who was Jason Voorhees in number 2. He was in the second Friday the 13th as Mr. Jason Voorhees himself. So there you go. All right. Making, double checking, triple checking, making sure. I'm sorry you get to look up my notes for a second. I just got to make sure that all my stuff is bouncing the way it is because everything is running like pond water this morning and I don't understand why. I got to make sure that it is bouncing around and it's not. I don't understand what the heck's going on up here. Other than, you know, computer technology sucks sometimes. What is going on? There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm watching it bounce around up here. It's freezing. I don't know what the hell's with it right now. It's showing I got a good signal, but my recording. All right. So, all right. Today's title is Trying to Do the Right Thing. And like I put a little bit more description, Roy, Joe, Twinkletoes, Twilight Jr., welcome to the broadcast. I saw you ends of that goody good nature. So please like, share, and follow. And I will try and do the same. I have had a lot of influx of spam followers so far. Um, I think I've added probably 200 in the past 24 to 48 hours of spam followers. And pretty much every one of those followers have sent me a message on TikTok. I'm sitting on over 100 messages waiting to be read. And then there's probably another 40 in the message, the spam side of it all. You get that little messenger thing that pops up in your notifications and stuff like that. It's quite humorous, especially the spammers. They're like, "Well, what would you do if $10,000 was dropped into your account today?" Or would you like to be a sugar baby? Have you ever had a sugar daddy or a sugar mommy? I mean, if you just want to throw money my way, that's cool. I don't mind. I will give you my Cash App, my PayPal, my Venmo, so you can drop money in there. So if you are one of those generous benefactors that would like to do that and not charge me a what is it, a the fee that they request, I'll you give us $35 and we'll put you on our payroll for you know $2,000. It's just like, biggest scam in the world, folks. Get a life. And then you call them out on it for reading the exact same script that you've already read a million times. Oh yeah, bots are here like crazy, man. Bots are on all the platforms, and it doesn't help that AI is the biggest bot of them all, and people can use that now to create accounts and everything else and all that good stuff. But the fun thing is, I'm starting to get product in. So my newest, and this one's already sold, is my Job 3 cover right here. This is how it came in. They wrap it in this industrial saran wrap, basically, and I will be autographing this, and it will be going to its new home. But I like the way they do it. They put these plastic corners on here, these hard plastic corners, so that they don't get damaged in shipment. Because they really don't ship them that well. They wrap them in here and they put them face to face with each other, so you're looking at the backside. And I do have a wine voucher in here. Yay! And so with that, once they put them together, and then they put them in their Gemini mailer for canvases. This is an 11 by 14, by the way. They ship them off to you, and as the the cardboard isn't that thick that they put it in, so it's not the greatest packaging in the world. But what I don't understand is that I still get people that send me comic books that I purchase. They they find the shittiest cardboard they can find that has creases in it or whatever. Um, in fact, hold on just a second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I've got it sitting right back over here. I've got it sitting right back over here. And so, this is some of the recent packaging that I've got for comic books. Yes, this stuff right here, which is not correct by any stretch of the imagination. If you're going to ship a comic book, get a fucking comic mailer like this right here. Right here. This protects the book, you know. And the person that did this, they wrapped it pretty well. They had this around the books, and they had another layer of protection as well. So they kept it from getting an S tidy right there. I'm just kidding. You're not going to get that from a comic book, but you could. And then it's in its mailer that keeps it protected. This is not a true Gemini mailer, but it's close. And this is the closest thing you'll get to a Gemini mailer. And this was actually inside of, where's that? Right here. This envelope. So they packaged it pretty well. Okay. They had it with bubble wrap around the comic, and then they had it inside this manila envelope. Okay. Not saying it's the greatest um, way to do it, putting it in an envelope, but it's better than some, like I'm getting ready to show you. So, my next one is they have, again, the shittiest cardboard in the world because it's got a crease in it. Don't do that because that will just crease the comic book when it comes in. Okay? Have this on the other side. They have the comic book in the middle. They then have it wrapped with a single layer of bubble wrap that's already been popped for the most part. And then they have it taped on there with the comic book in there. Okay? So already you can see that I can still bend in postage right there. Okay. Then, for whatever reason, let's throw some parchment paper around it. That's going to protect it. Tape that on there. Tape it down. Now it's really protected. Okay. And then let's put it in a non-bubble mailer, just a plain mailer with not even red. They can't even print out red. Handle with care. Thank you. Fragile. It must be from France. And then all that's together. So again, bent cardboard, and they did this twice, two different ones. Same person. All cardboard has creases in it. This is a different packaging right here. But same person. And let's mail comic books out in that. Common sense says, fuck no. Okay. Um, so, I did have to leave a semi-negative review on that end. Mr. Roy Joe Twinkle Toe Sparkle Butt Bradley Twilight Jr. there has some cool shirts he's got ready for us that he purchased on the TikTok shop. So we'll be wearing those at one point in time. But my Joker shirts as well, and I appreciate it, buddy. I really do. I appreciate you as a person. Even though you get angry at me, on a regular basis for, talking about your pacifiers going to lose the rest of the series, and how your lackers are sitting at home waiting to share that cried in milk with the pacifiers. Um, Come the end of this series, as Oklahoma City Thunder will be hoisting that trophy up above their heads and have won the series in championship. There you go. The Joker shirts will be coming in sometime this week, and also the rest of my order for my The Job 3 cover. I've got some 11 by 17 prints coming in of that as well, which some of those have already sold as well on that note. And so I'm looking forward to that as well. I appreciate you and Audrey as well. So, before I get into the other shirts and the Joker shirts that we're talking about right now, let's talk about trying to do the right thing, which is the title of today's show. Okay? So, trying to do the right thing. So, the girlfriend has this huge heart for rescuing animals and things like that. We've rescued all kinds of shit, from hawks that have been hit on the side of the road that made full recovery, to turtles that we see when we're driving. We always turn around for turtles and make sure that they get off the road safely. Um, to possums, to raccoons, to you name it. If it's near the road and she sees it, we're stopping. Okay, and just to check to make sure, because sometimes people hit animals and they leave them for dead, and they're just stunned or dazed and confused, and they're still alive on the side of the road. So she's got this huge heart for that. Well, the other day, she saw a dog near this hunting spot uh, where hunters go in and the police usually sit, and she saw him sitting there, and so we turned it around. She told me she turned around. We needed to turn around, and so we turn around and we go pick up this dog. Well, he's sitting there, limping around, yelping, barking, crying, all this good stuff. And we noticed that there was a couple of plates of food left on the ground, and so we put two and two together. Somebody dumped him there, and what he's doing is barking and baying at the moon, basically waiting for his owner to come back and get him. Well, we pick him up, get him over to us, because we actually had some treats in the car that we give the dogs whenever they do good, those type of things. And from the veteran-owned company, I am a veteran myself, and so we get him to trust, us, Well, we get him, put him in the car. We were actually going to Atwoods to get some pig food in the first place, and so we go ahead and get him in the car, take him to Atwoods with us, but leave him in the car at the time. And no, we were going to no, it was Tractor Supply in Van Buren is where we were going. And so we get there and we go inside, get him some treats, and then we notice they have a pet wash in there, a dog wash. So we take him in there because he stinks pretty bad. So we get him in there, wash him down, um, check on his feet and stuff like that. And we're pretty sure he was standing in ants, so they were biting his feet, fire ants and things like that. And so we get him washed off, bring him out, have him on a new collar and a new leash, and take him back to the car, get him in there. He's shedding like crazy because that's just what they do. This dog particular, and it could be nerves as well that he's shedding so bad for. But he's still shedding here at the house. So we get him back to the house and introduce him to the dogs one at a time. He's cool with them. He's cool with our big pig. Um, and he's okay with our little pig for the most part, for the first portion of all this. And I appreciate all this stuff that you're sending, Mr. Roy Joe Twilight, Twinkle Toes, Sparkle Butt, Bradley Jr. there. I appreciate all that. I appreciate all the loves. Please like, share, and follow as well. And if you haven't done it so already, go follow my other socials up here by finding my website. Go to the website. You'll find my 412 Productions alien logo, the art of Monty Anderson. And as Mr. Roy Joe, Twinkle Toes, Sparkle Butt, Bradley Twilight Jr. likes to call it, Monty Jr., which is the alien that's got the art glove on with my pencil, wherever my pencil is. I don't see any pencil. Where's my pencil? Oh, right here. In hand, just like this. And you can find my social medias: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube right there. So if you're not following those, please go ahead and go do that. And like, share, and follow right here as well. And if you are a real person, I will follow you back. All right. So we get him home, introduce him to the animals. We put him around the chickens. He doesn't show any interest to the chickens. Well, a day or so. Well, we've only had him a couple days, and so the beginning of day one, he's vibing with pretty much everybody that is around until he spots our cats. We have an indoor outdoor cats, mama and her son, that are here, and they're inside outside, and they've got a cat tree and all that crap in the house. Well, he sees them and goes ape shit. He tries to tear into them like nobody's business. Well, we're keeping him away from them, getting the cats outside, shutting the door, and then letting him calm down. Well, okay, strike one. Well, he's outside chilling in the backyard with the pigs, the ducks, uh, the chickens, everything that's free ranging right now in the backyard. Well, he goes after our smallest pig, our potbelly pig named Bruiser, who's already had a rough life. She's at work. I'm here with everybody, out and watching them outside. And next thing I know, he's chasing down the pig, trying to tear up the pig. Well, that ain't happening. So I grab him, bring him inside, throw him inside, and lock him up inside, and let everybody back to life out there. Well, day 2 or 3, I can't remember which day this actually is for us that we've had this dog. Well, she's out there with him, and I don't remember if she's letting him use the bathroom and all that stuff, and I don't remember if the leash got away from her or whatever happened. But he sees our male cat, Angelo, named after her favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle character, Michelangelo, and he goes after him. Well, he leaps over everything, she says, and basically we've got a 7 foot tall picket fence hooked to our chain link fence over there. She said he scaled that like nobody's business. He actually knocked one panel off that I've got to go over and replace on the fence after he knocked it off. and went after our cat, who ended up in the tree all the way at the top, basically, and was still there for the longest period of time until we coaxed him down with some food. So there's strike two and three. There's three strikes right there. The pig was strike two, going after Angelo again, strike three. Well, this morning, um, since our cats are indoor outdoor cats, Mama Cat was wanting to come in, and they were outside using the bathroom. The pig, the two dogs. Phoenix doesn't get up as much anymore at night like she used to whenever we first brought her home, because she was a rescue as well. Well, he nearly tore up Mama Cat this morning, and we were trying to get Mama Cat out from under the couch with him locked in the bedroom, and he ended up tearing up the girlfriend's hands, legs, arm. I mean, she got me too. I got nice little scratch marks going down my side, and but the girlfriend was trying to get her out from under the couch. She was freaked out. She bit her. She scratched her. I mean, she's got this big old nasty cut going down the pinky finger. She's all wrapped up in gauze this morning. She's doing okay. She's just in pain, and she knew she should have waited just a little bit before she tried to reach under the couch. Well, we lifted up the couch. I lifted up the couch, and she grabbed her out from under there. But she was just still freaked out, and so this dog, when we were trying to do the right thing, has turned into a nightmare for our household. Okay, so you can't always do the right thing. um, so fortunately, we're going to be driving for a little while because we do have someone that is interested in the dog, who does want the dog, but they are all the way up in Little Rock. So we're going to be taking a trip after she gets off of work today and going all the way up to Little Rock with this dog to say, here you go, have fun. Uh, this person has gotten rid of all their other animals, their dogs that they had and stuff like that. So we think it's going to be a good fit, and we hope it's going to be a good fit because once we drop this dog off, it's their problem. You know, we've already dealt with the problems of turmoil around here, and he would make a great dog with the proper training and things of that nature. So, you know, I'm not saying that he is a lost cause, because he's not. It's just he doesn't fit and vibe here with our animals that we've got. So, you know, we've been trying for the damnedest few days to get rid of this dog. You know, find him a new home, and because we're not just going to go dump him somewhere, you know, like the owners did that had him originally. So we were about to start making some flyers for where she works at Walmart and throw them on the tables and stuff like that. Um, but we got saved by that by a Facebook post. So I mean, he's a gorgeous dog. He is a little underweight. Um, so we're not sure. I mean, we do know that he was beat pretty severely, because if you raise your hand, even just to, you know, throw your hands up in frustration or whatever, he cowers down. I mean, he shows that he's been beat before by whoever owned him, you know. But he's the love bug. He cuddles. He likes to play, and he plays with our dogs just great. I mean, he does get a little too aggressive. He's a big dog, and we're pretty sure he's still a puppy. You know, and he's still got some growing to do. But he already stands over our red nosed pit that we rescued, um, and she's, you know, right at about 80 pounds. She's a little overweight, and then Dexter, our newest pup, towers over him, but he's actually the same size and getting a little bit bigger than Phoenix. So, you know, uh, Dexter's going to be a huge dog in his own right as well. So, but this dog just isn't vibing here. Like I said, with the right training and attention and everything like that. Not that he doesn't get attention here, because he does, but he's just not fitting in here with our animals, because the cats are freaked out by him and he wants to eat them. I mean, he wants to tear them up completely. And then our little pig, um, he can't catch a break either. So he is, running scared if the dog is outside. So we have to keep the dog leashed, which isn't fair to the dog either, because dogs are meant to run, play, be free in your yard. They're not supposed to be tethered to a chain or to a wire or to a tree or whatever, where they can only make a little circle, like a horse on the little wheel. And so if you do own animals and you have them chained up, that's your business, but that's not how dogs are meant to be, you know. And I get it though. Sometimes if you don't have a fenced in yard or things of that nature, you know. But that's when you train them. You don't just get a dog to get a dog and be like, nope, we'll just feed it and give it some water and pet it every now and again. No, you train it like we're trying to do. I mean, Phoenix is pretty well trained. She won't run off. We can let her outside on the front where there's no fence and she'll come back. Dexter, on the other hand, still needs some training, but he gets the free range in the backyard with the chickens and the geese or the ducks, and the geese are in another section because they're still babies. But we're ready for them to get their full colors on and see what happens whenever the dog gets close to them, just to see. So that is the trying to do the right thing. Sometimes you try to do the right thing and it turns around and just bites you in the ass 100%. And you know, you just can't always do the right thing without some consequences. Because like I said, we try to help as many animals as possible have a fair shot at life and have a fair, gotta make sure my light's still on, yes, and just have a fair shake at life, because all animals deserve a chance, you know. And we gave this dog a shot, and he just doesn't fit well here. I mean, he could have had a new home here, but it's just not it's just not vibing with our family that we've got. Since we homestead, I do artwork, homestead, and I'm a disabled veteran, and it's just not working here. So he is going to a new home as of later today, which I am super excited and super relieved about. I'm just glad that we were able to bring him in and find him a new home that is going to work out better than here with our animals. So now let's talk about the shirts. I'm hoping by Friday the 13th, I'll be in my new gear, my new Joker gear. We do have some new shirts ordered. I'm getting ready to order another one because another order came in on that shirt, and that's exciting to look forward to as well. So, with that being said, later this month, as I prep for the 2026 season, I'm going to be ordering some new shirts. This is the next shirt, American Horror, right here. American Horror, with my depiction of Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein in the American Gothic fashion, right there on a shirt form. So I'm looking forward to that, as well as the Chester Bennington shirt right there. Will be an up and comer as well. And yes, these all have my logo on the front, including the Joker one. And then my Bad Habit series right here. I'm looking forward to that one because that one's a cool one as well. So I'm looking forward to sporting all these shirts. So I'm going to be making an order on those. So if anybody wants any of those shirts, hit me up and we will go from there. Um, but this is just part of the new line of merchandise that's going to be at my table at conventions and things of that nature, which I've got to start looking at conventions that are coming up, for January and the early parts of the year. Looking forward to getting back into full swing of those and, you know, enjoying life again. Not that I'm not enjoying life now, because this year again is the rebuild year for the business, but I'm not doing the convention circuit this year. Taking a year off so I can get all of my new stuff, which is T-shirts, um, my table covers that have my logo and stuff like that, my new logo on them, new banners made, all kinds of stuff that you take for granted when you're at a show. And then I've got to figure out how I want to do my backdrop for True Reels. Um, because if I do it the way I really want to do it, I'm going to have to rent 2 booth spaces at a time per show. And that can be costly. That can be up to $1,000 for some shows. And but I'm looking at 3-day shows is what I'm truly, truly looking at, because those are the fun shows. Everybody, you will get some sales on the first day, but 90% of your buyers are back the second and third day, and that's when they start spending all their real money. You know, yes, they're there to see the people they want to see and all that good stuff, and they're spending money on those autographs and things, but they also will buy, from local vendors and artisans at the show. So, um, and that's how it is with all the shows. Now there have been some crappy shows that I was at in 2024, which was my last year of my shows. Um, as my other title, AGK, and from there, um, that was a hit or miss year, 2024, when it came to shows, because I had some really good starts to the year, which was the Nerds Assemble Con up in Jonesboro, Arkansas. That was a phenomenal show, um, and that one was a 2-day show, and that's where I sold 5 original pieces. Right there on that show. Yes, they were all to a military guy, but still, 5 pieces of original artwork sold at that show. That was a phenomenal show. The next couple of shows didn't do so good, especially the Bastrop, Texas one. The Colt Classic show didn't do very well, and the problem with that show was, and a lot of people griped about that show not doing as well as they did the previous year, was that I was right by the stage, where all the Q&As happened, and so I did get to see all the guests, which was a plus. And some of the guests even stopped and checked out my booth and talked to me about my artwork, and so such and such would really love this because they're a Reanimator fan, and yada yada yada. Well, on that note too, it just boiled down to, oh, you had all these people that were in front of your booth, but they weren't buying because they were watching the panel happen. So people couldn't get to my booth to check it out. You would get a couple of people turn around and look, and then smile, nod, and then turn back around and look and keep watching the panel. So that hurt us more than anything else. But like I said, a lot of people, even one guy that I've made friends with over the circuit, past few years, said he didn't do as well, and he probably wouldn't even be at this one if it wasn't for the guy that always bought 1 to 2 of his original paintings, his airbrush paintings, that he did, and because he had his girlfriend or wife, I'm pretty sure it's his wife, who was in another uh, spot. I think it was in Texas somewhere else, but she was also selling his stuff at another show, and he was like, "She's already done way better than I am here," you know. And he goes, "And I'm not at that show." He goes, "I'm at this show, struggling to get by here." So that's good for him that he's able to diversify like that, go to 2 different shows at the same time, and double his money for the most part. But he was like, "Yeah, this show is usually a lot better than this," and I barely, I, I think I barely even broke even for that show, which means coverage for the hotel, food, gas, the booth rental itself, um, and product, that I did up for that show specifically. So that means I just got my money back for everything that I spent on that show, and maybe just a hair over, you know. But all in all, that was a crappy show. Um, because I'm trying to think if I even broke even. And I had a couple more shows like that, but then I had a few more phenomenal shows that helped, cover the cost of things. And that's just how it goes. You're going to be hit or miss on all kinds of different things throughout the year. And so you just have to take the good with the bad. And I'm not saying every year has been a phenomenal year, where we've been at and things like that, but most of the time we end up breaking even or doing better. You know, 2024 was just one of those hit or miss years where more shows than not we barely broke even. Um, but then you had those other shows that you did $2,000 in sales for a 2-day weekend. You and which is great, but you've got to look at the cost of your space too. So you didn't make $2,000 for the weekend. Because you spent your booth money, food, your gas money, your hotel if you had a hotel. You know, yeah, we get great rates on hotels, 100%, but you're still spending $100+ on hotel rooms, whereas other people are spending $200 or $300 on hotel rooms. You know, uh, because we get it for, like I said, a great rate because the girlfriend works in the industry as well of hotels. So we are able to get great rates on hotel rooms. So we don't have to worry too much about that most of the time. Yes, I have a refrigerator in my office. All right, so I'm working on this new cover for a children's book um, about a friend of mine who is a now semi-professional boxer. I mean, he's a professional boxer. He's had several bouts already. Um, and this is the storytelling of his life through this children's book. And I'm working on the cover of it right now, and it looks pretty killer already. And I will be showing it off when I can, because with him, it's one of those things that I can talk about it, but I can't show it off just yet. But that's okay. So be sure to like, share, and follow as well over here. Get your friends in over here and get them talking about stuff. And just remember, I am going to be doing a whole new slew of shirts. So if you are interested in any of those, my Bad Habits shirt, my Chester Bennington shirt, or my American Horror shirt, get in on those. And I also have the Joker available as well. If you're watching here on Facebook and or YouTube, you'll be able to see that over here in the bottom corner. You guys cannot see that here. Um, and I don't know where my picture went for that particular one. And so I'm looking forward to all this new product for the year. And it's just one of those things that whenever you start changing things to accommodate new things, things start to pick up. You know, and this year started out with a bang. Whenever I did change up my logo, change up my company, come out fresh and new with the new shiny stuff going on. You um, it all just started to fall into place. It was just like you needed this fresh start. You needed a new outlook on your own business, and sometimes that's what it takes. Um, because not all the time are people happy with even their own business. I was happy with it for the longest time, but then things just slowed down. Things just kind of fizzled out, if you will. I wasn't getting the commissions in. I wasn't getting, you know, people buying on a regular basis. I wasn't, getting this, that, or the other. And it's just like, okay, why not? Why aren't you buying stuff? Why? And then I got to thinking, well, maybe there's negative overtones about your business out there. Maybe people are talking bad about your other business. Maybe people are talking bad about you for whatever reason. Because people don't need a reason to hate you, you know? People don't need a reason to talk bad about you. People are going to do it regardless because they're people, you know? And And so, like I said, at the end of 2024, whenever I decided to make the change on the last two shows of the year, which was the San Antonio show and then the Jonesboro show at a comic book shop, um, it was like it's truly time to change. It's time to do some different things. And at that point in time, that's when I started coming up with the whole creation of something that's been in my head for 4, 5, 6 years. You know, 412 Productions, and it's not a verse in the Bible. It's not 412 something or other in the Bible. It is a time. That's the time I used to wake up almost on a regular clockwork time frame. And as if you're on YouTube or Facebook right now, you can see the 412 clock right here, right here. And um, that is where 412 Productions came from. I used to wake up at that point in time, and all of a sudden, one day, I picked up my phone, looked at it, 412, okay, put it down, tried to go back to sleep, and Productions came across my mind. I'm like, what the hell does this mean? And then I put 412 and Productions together, and I was like, well, that's catchy. And I never did anything with it. It just sat in my head, rent free, for like almost 6 years. Well, come end of 2024, I start thinking, it's time for a change. Time to kill the old persona and time to rebuild and do something new and fresh. So I came up with 412 Productions. I had an alien logo, but it looked like he was DJing, scratching on that record. And he did have the pencil and pen and paper out like he was drawing. And I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great. And then I got to looking at it as I printed it out and had it ready to go and was going to introduce it to the world. And I was like, this looks like hammered dog shit. It was stiff. It was had no life to it. But I thought it was great whenever I first did it and saw it. And then it was just like, no, this kind of sucks. This really does look like hammered dog shit. So, me being the artist that I am, came up with my alien, which is hanging in my office back over there on this back wall over here, this soffit that's hanging down, which I don't know why there's a soffit there in the first place, but it's there. Um, Other than there's probably rafters, beams right there, and so um, redid the logo, kept keeping the 412 Productions the way it was, the same lettering, the same starburst in the background. Just changed up my alien, gave him some life, and gave him a pencil and my glove. So he's sitting there like this as he's looking over at you, smiling. So you see the same pencil and the same glove and the same arm that is my arm and hand. Of course, I've got four fingers and a thumb. He's got 3 fingers and a thumb. So unless I have some accident, I don't have this going on right there. But he does. But me, I've got these right here, and so that's how he was born. He was born out of a necessity to begin life anew when it came to my artwork. And so it is just one of those things that, sometimes you need a fresh new take on your own business, your own company. And do I make a ton of money doing this? No. And well, he had a sequins glove that covered all of his fingers. This is an art glove that covers 2 of my fingers and the palm of my hand so that I don't smudge ink or pencil all over the place, Mr. Roy Joe Twinkle Toes Sparkle Butt Bradley Twilight Jr. So there you go. But no, that's what makes our friendship fun is the camaraderie with Mr. Roy here, who likes to come up with, or he likes to try to come up with new names to outdo me on the name calling for him. So there you He's a good dude. Go check him out. Go check out his channel. You'll get to see his mug on his TikToker page, and you know, and his love of the Dallas Cowboys, and that's about all he's got out there, which is all good, fine, and dandy. But he's a good dude. Go check him out. But no, so you know, again, this is trying to do the right thing. Get rid of any negative personas out of the old business and have the whole new moniker come out. Have the whole new outlook on business again. Have a whole new outlook on fun again when it comes to the logo and things like that. So, that's just part of reviving and refreshing yourself, um, because we can't always stay the same. Because if you do try and stay the same, isn't that what is that? That's lunacy. That's what is it? I can't remember what it is right now. But if you try to stay the same and it's just not working out for you, don't you think it's time for a change? You know. So that's where I was at in my business. Things just weren't going the way I wanted them to. Things just weren't, and a lot of things just kind of stopped after I got a divorce in 2022. And because all the people that said, "Oh yeah, we'll still be buying stuff from you no matter what," where did you go? You disappeared after the divorce. Oh, you were in it because of the other person involved, the wife that was there, and you weren't in it because of me and my artwork. Even though you loved the artwork, you know, it boiled down to loyalty to the other person, and that's just what it boiled down to. And I saw it, and you see it because those people haven't purchased artwork from me again. And then we had another good friend that used to buy artwork all the time, and then um, when it came to the now girlfriend and I being together, he disappeared. He ghosted both of us, you know, and we still supported him big time. We took him food when he was sick. We took him, you know, uh, we would go visit his daughter and things of that nature. And but as soon as he found out we were together, bye, see ya, ghosted. And it's just like interesting. But it is what it is. Life moves on, and you just do great things on your own. You know, I mean, the girlfriend and I, we do all kinds of stuff together. It's difficult sometimes just because she's super tired on a regular basis because like right now, lack of sleep because of this damn dog. Um, how he's disrupted our life, uh, because he is going after the big pig a little bit too. Um, but he tries to avoid her as much as possible. He will bark at her whenever her back is turned to him. That's how much of a coward he is against her. But anything smaller than him, cats, our other pig, because it is a true mini pig and a potbelly pig, because he's only about yay long and about yay tall. His name is Bruiser. He's about 25 to 28 pounds now, and he's a solid chunk. But he's much smaller than that dog, and he wouldn't really stand a chance, against that dog if it got a hold of her or if it got a hold of him. And Phoenix already inflicted a little bit of pain on him at one point in time, and so to have two dogs, after him. I mean, Phoenix has stopped going after him now, but and it was just an incident where she was food aggressive, at the table and ended up biting him. But she hasn't done that since. But this dog just wants to tear into the pig as well. So, we're not having it. And so it's time for a change on that note, you know. I mean, we're still going to stop for animals to make sure that they are, you know, good. and hopefully we don't pick up any more dogs to bring home, especially those that don't jive with our household. But we will still try and do the right thing when it comes to all that, those endeavors and things. So, did pick up some new comic books, the ones that I told you about, and I still gave them good reviews out there, even though I said their packaging could be a lot better. Um, and then one of them was like it was like new condition. And I was like, no, it definitely was not. When it came in, it had rounded corners, some spine ticks, and a light new comic book is not going to have all that. And but that's neither here nor there. And you just do things to help the betterment of people, because like I said, you know sometimes if you're just going to not change your life, and you're going to be a negative person all the time, do people really want to be around that? Do you really want to be around somebody that's negative all the time, that's just going to drag you down? Even goth people that could be some of the most negative people in the world are some of the most joyous people in the world. Yeah, they dress all in black and their nails and lipstick is all in black and shit like that, but they're some of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. And it's just like bikers. People have a negative persona about most bikers. Oh, they're part of the Hells Angels. Oh, they're part of this group. Oh, they're part of this group. Oh, they're probably just kill you in a back alley. Well, it's probably true, but I've got some DC comic pants on, some pajama pants. I didn't see that comic because my back was had to have been turned, but no Twilight shit here. No twinkling, sparkling butt vampires here. Oh, we're still gonna get you that shirt too. This is the ass of a killer Bella shirt, and I'm gonna put sparkle dust on his ass for you, on Edward's ass, there, Mister Roy Joe. Twinkle toes, sparkle butt, Bradley Twilight Jr. And what's a twite? What's a twite series? I want to know what a twite series is. Is that something new? Is that kind of like Wayward Pines or something? Twite series? But no, it's all fun and games. Until Mr. Roy Joe Twinkle Toes Sparkle Butt Bradley Twilight Jr. puts on his "This is the Ass of a Killer" Bella t-shirt that we're gonna get him. You know what I meant. Yes, yes, Mr. Roy, I know what you meant. You meant you don't have a good taste in movies. Oh, that was the worst series ever in the world of movies. So, and I only saw one of them, and I've seen clips of the other ones, and I've made fun of every clip I've ever seen because the girlfriend still likes them, and she was trying to rewatch them again, and I made fun of the whole baseball playing scene, you know, because it was quite humorous to watch their acting in that, if you want to call it that. And Pattison is a good actor. He does the diverse roles, and he does some good things. And I even like his role in the Batman. You know, which keeps getting pushed back for part two, which is the first time in the movie history of the Batman that they are going with the Batman 2. You know, which is like year 3 or 4 of him being the Batman. And just like this was the first 2 years, the first movie was him being Batman, and so and they used the Long Halloween, they used Batman Year Two, um, all kinds of different uh, comic books from the series of the comic book series, and melded it all together really well. And he did a phenomenal job in that one. A lot of people still hate it, for him being the Batman in it, but I thought it was really good. I liked it. Yes, you and Audrey love the Twilight series. I don't understand why. I honestly do not. I don't see how anybody likes the Twilight series, period. Vampires do not sparkle in the damn sun. They explode out there whenever they get into the sun. That is a true vampire. That is the true mark of a vampire. Not, this is why I can't be out in the sunshine. Oh, look at me. Look at me. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle in the sun. No, no. The vampires smoke, blister, boil, and then explode into a million thousand pieces all over the place. That's how they die, too, with a stake to the heart. Or when their head gets chopped off. Take your pick. So there you go. And what was with the whole dusk in the entire movie? That that off color daylight that they had. Yes, you guys enjoy those damn shirts. She tried to get me one, and I was like, "Fuck no, I'm not gonna wear that shit." Give me my bad habit shirt, okay? Give me that shirt. Give me my Chester shirt. I'll wear these. Give me the American Horror shirt. I'll do that. Give me my Joker shirt when it comes in. I'll be doing that. But I probably will be doing dual shirts because Friday the 13th falls on my next show. Jason Voorhees right there. And if you want any of those other shirts that I just showed you, please hit me up and get your order in. They are $25 a piece. Now for bigger sizes like, your triples and things like that, those go up a little bit. So those will be 30 at that size. So anything above 2X is $30. So there you go. And so I'm looking forward to these shirts to come in so that I can start wearing my own product. You know, the devil wears Prada right here. You another funny movie. But anyway, um, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to all this new product coming in, and you know, and like I said, I'm looking forward to the shirt that Mr. Roy Joe, Twinkle Toes, Sparkle Butt, Bradley Twilight Jr. bought off the TikTok shop. He bought one for all three of us, for my girlfriend, myself, and himself, and he's got them in hand. He's already showed us the picture of them, and they look pretty cool. So we'll get those in hand and in house as well, and show them off for Mr. Roy Joe, Twinkle Toes, Sparkle Butt, Bradley Twilight Jr. there. And so look forward to that as well. So that'll be fun, and we appreciate him for that. And like I said, get your orders in on all these other shirts and or the Joker shirt, which I will be hopefully wearing soon, because it didn't come in yesterday, or it didn't. Well, it might come in today. I never know, because today's the 11th, right? Yes, 6/11, and so that's one of the shipping days for it to come in is today through Friday. One of those 3 days is when it's supposed to be here, and then on the 18th, my other order for, excuse me, my the rest of my stuff for this is coming in right here, right now. And so this is my first canvas print of my new artwork. I don't have any other canvas prints yet, but I am going to get canvas prints of the American Horror shirt. Chester will have canvas prints as well. And Bad Habits will have canvas print as well. So that's four, and the Joker, five canvas prints right off the bat. Dexter will have a canvas print as well. So that's six canvas prints out there. Yeah, it's the 11th, buddy. And so I'm already working in the canvas prints that are going to be coming in. So, and I'm trying to decide if, it's going to be the 11 by 14s if it's going to be 11 by 14s or 16 by 20s. And I'm thinking 16 by 20s to start with my canvas prints, um, just because it's a good size. It's a great size. And, it gives you a substantial size to hang on the wall. Instead of, 11 by 14, don't get me wrong, is a good size in and of itself. That's a decent size right there. But it's not much bigger than the 11 by 17 prints that you get on paper. And that's what my other print is. So 16 by 20, I think, is the size I'm going to be going with on a standard, regular basis. But this looks really good. They did a decent job of printing. I'm not saying they did a great job of printing on it, but it looks good. And they always do seem to do pretty well when it comes to their print jobs. So, and TikTok said something about this ending at like 4:58 for some stupid reason. I don't know what's going on with TikTok right now. Other than yesterday was my release from quarantine from TikTok for the use of a single word, which if you saw my page or have visited my page, you would see my little rant. Thank you, sir. And about TikTok. And so I was out of quarantine yesterday. Today is my first show back live on Ticker Talker. And so, I almost got teary eyed right there for just a second that I'm back live with you guys. Come on, man. Whatever. TikTok's AI algorithm is a joke, if you will. And they need to do better. They really do. And they need to listen to the whole show. They don't need to listen to just one little segment because, perk up ears because he said tick. Put it all together. And um, and that's what his whole show was over. Is the whole show. But yet you can still have people masturbating out there on live video, or you know, um, I won't go into all the other stuff that could get me violations right now. But it is what it is. I'm out of quarantine, if you will, and I'm back live with you here now. I'll be your Huckleberry. Doc Holiday. So yeah, no, it's kind of silly to me how their AI determines that your whole show is based off of one word that gets used, you know. And had I been talking about that genre of talk, don't you think you would have shut me off 2 minutes into my show, 3 minutes into my show, not wait 40 minutes and determine the 1.25 minutes that I was talking about a specific subject? That was my whole show. And you appeal that one and it doesn't get overturned, as I've appealed other shows and they've overturned it, and I was back live within 30 minutes of their doing their whole quarantine. So yes, this isn't my first rodeo with them, as far as getting a violation or getting taken off of live shows until I appealed it, and then they're like, "Oh, so your show wasn't talking about all that? Okay, we'll let you back on to the lives." And like I was saying earlier on in the show, I've probably picked up almost 300 new followers that are nothing but spam accounts, and I have over 200 messages waiting to be read in my message section. So it's kind of stupid to have to muddle through to try and find anything real in there, and so it makes you just want to turn off your messages. But then people that really want to contact me wouldn't be able to do that. So, so no, it's not going to happen. The messages are going to continue to happen, and I'll just go through there and delete, 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 because it's just like I don't want to talk to you spam accounts, and it's happening on all my social medias right now. It's not just here on TikTok, but while I was in quarantine, It seems like, oh my gosh, you're so popular. You just gained 200 new spam accounts. Yay, go me. Which, as I go through there and look at my followers count, I'm almost to 3,600 people now. So that's exciting, pushing me closer to that 4,000 to 10,000 people goal that I'm looking for. I am looking for that 10,000 follower group because that puts you in a whole different category when it comes to your lives on TikTok. Because hopefully more people will come in with 10,000 viewers, or 10,000 followers. Like some people get it in a heartbeat and they get over 10,000 followers because you can get over, millions and millions of followers. And that's where I'm looking to get is them into the millions because maybe, you know, 5,000 of those people will actually watch, you know, or 8,000 of those people will actually watch, instead of just my 3,000 followers or 3,000 viewers or less per show, you know. And again, does that make me nervous? No. I will still talk to you whether you're, you know, following or watching or whatever, because I know not my show isn't for everybody. I do understand that because we talk about real life, we talk about artwork, we talk about movies. Like Friday the 13th, we'll probably talk about nothing but Jason Voorhees that day. Um, all the slasher films. So Roy, be ready for that. I know you're not a horror buff, but besides that, fake horror Twilight series. Um, so that's about as horror as you get. For me over here, I'm printing 3D printing horror busts and things like that, so it's all good. And speaking of which, I've got a limited edition print up here of Jason Voorhees himself right there. Plus, I've got Freddy versus Jason in there, an autograph from that in my front room, which I might bring in here. Pull that one off the wall, pull the other one off the wall, bring them in here for that show. I think that's all the Friday the 13th I have in here besides my picture in my original book down here. So there you go. Friday the 13th is just around the corner. Are you prepared? Next show, we'll be talking about the Thunder beating the Pacifiers. Yes, we will. We will be talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder whooping up on the Pacifiers. Good job, boy. Boy, Job Jr. out there. Um, because that game is tonight. Yes, it is. I believe it's tonight. And they have traveled all the way to Indianapolis to face the Pacifiers, who are going to be crying in their spilt milk after tonight because they will be down 2-1 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And yes, they are the Wonder Boys because it's been a magical season for them, no matter what happens, and for the Pacers as well. Um, but I don't see them winning the series. I see Oklahoma City Thunder hoisting that trophy above their heads, all that confetti and their team colors raining down. It's going to be glorious to watch all them pacifier fans fire their coach. You couldn't win the series. Time to fire the coach. Put in the interim assistant coach. Let him win for us next season. Just like they did with who was it? The Knicks. Knicks fired their head coach uh, after he lost to the Pacifiers, which makes no sense to me. You got them that far, but yeah, you couldn't win in the playoffs, but you got them that far, and then you fire your head coach. It's kind of like when Dallas Cowboys fired Jimmy Johnson. It's just like, are you fucking serious right now? Jerry Jones, you're a moron, but everybody knows that. You just don't expect to see it with teams going into the playoffs, and then, oh no, we're going to fire a head coach because you didn't win the series. Well, how about you let that coach build on next season and get some players that are going to help out, just like they did in Oklahoma City, you know? And, Oklahoma City's been here before, and they had the big three: Kevin Durant, Westbrook, Harden, and then they lost it all because you had three individuals on the court. They weren't a team player, you know, and they had to be that ball hawk. They had to be that person that was going to win the game, and it just didn't work out. Now you've got a team in Oklahoma City now that is a team, you know. So and I saw a Oklahoma City Thunder fan that was like, "Yeah, well, just wait till the end of the season, whether they win it or not. Uh, they're going to let people go, and that they shouldn't let go, and things of that nature, and then it's just going to be right back where they were because the administration sucks and blah 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 blah." And it could be true, you know. And it's just like Dallas Cowboys as an organization as a whole. How many head coaches have we had? How many people have we let go that we shouldn't have let go? Because we didn't want to pay a little bit extra, but this other team was willing to, you know. And it's just like now we're restructuring contracts. Now we are, you know, building a team dynamic. And could we have gone for some flashy players in the offseason? Of course we could have. Does Jerry Jones ever do that? No, he doesn't. You know, every now and again he'll pick up a player that surprises everybody, like the Pickens trade. You know, that surprised everybody, and that just made Dak Prescott or Joe Milton, whoever ends up being the quarterback of the future, you know, for the Dallas Cowboys, a viable playoff contender. You know, because with Pickens out there, you can't just double team CeeDee Lamb now. Now you've got to play both sides of the field. And what if they're lined up on the same side of the field doing an out route or a slant at the same time? You got one streaking up the sideline, one cutting in. Who are you covering? You know, and then that leaves a third person open, a tight end or another wide receiver, depending on how they're lined up. You know, so now they've just made a threat. 100%. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens on that endeavor. We hope for great things, but we don't always get great things. They're still predicting us to lose quite a few of our games. Like 6 of our games this year, and it's possible we could lose 6 games, and then it's also possible that some of those 6 games that we're supposed to lose, we don't. You know, but it is what it is, and we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. So, but should be exciting year no matter what. The Oklahoma City Thunder Wonder Boys, as Mr. Roy Joe Twinkle Toes Sparkle Butt Bradley Twilight Jr. likes to call them, are going to win the series completely. Even if it takes 7 games, they are still going to win it and hoist that silver trophy above their heads and say, "We are the champions in Oklahoma City." Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and follow. Go up here to my website and follow my other socials. You will find my 412 Productions alien logo, The Art of Monty Anderson, and directly underneath that logo, I might sneeze again. Bless me. Underneath that logo, yes, the Thunder are going to win. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate that. I appreciate that enthusiasm that you're helping promote your Arkansas boys who are on the Oklahoma City Thunder. And thank you again for the bless you. But you can go up there, find my website. Underneath my logo, you will find my socials from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, where you are here now. So please like, share, and follow here. And where are you going? All right, did I say we're done yet? Did I say we're done yet? Did I say it? No, I did not. Not yet. But I am going to kill it for today. I appreciate everybody coming out here, checking out the channel, being here with us, liking, sharing, and following. You all are great. The bantering back and forth is also helpful. And Oklahoma City Thunder will win the series, and the pacifiers will be crying in their diapers, as they usually do, especially after Game 2 when they got blown out by Oklahoma City Thunder. That's how the rest of the series is going to go. Getting blown out by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Congratulations, Pacers, for not being able to pace yourselves and pooping in your diapers. Congratulations. You all have a great day, and we will, as I like to say as I leave you, catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.